Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5. Folks, today we have got Kentucky Speedway 100 laps, $85,000 up for grabs. We are going to try to put together a car that's more stable than we had at Indianapolis, although we did have a good run at Indy. I just felt like we were struggling. We were fighting the car. Maybe it's me. I could be overdriving it because we don't have 100% equipment, so I'm doing whatever I can to get those positions. That's very possible. But regardless, we're just going to try to stabilize it a little bit more with what we've got. I'm going to go ahead and set this car up, and I will see you right before qualifying. We came up just short on our qualifying, or not qualifying, on our practice, but I did the best I could. We're about 1.7 seconds off the pole qualifying time, so I don't think we're as bad as I thought we were. We don't have an actual goal position on here, so I'm not sure what it determines is our goal time because we've already reached our incentive. But let's get out there. I mean, I ran a handful of laps, probably 10 or so actually, so let's get out there and do the qualifying. Of course, it's going to be a little different. I hate that those lines are up there because even when you don't try to pay attention to them, you still do. I'm talking about the practice lines. It gives you the line around the track, and it turns red when you're supposed to brake and whatever. Normally, I don't pay attention to them as much as, say, somebody who doesn't run these tracks or anything, but unfortunately, I've paid attention to them enough that it does affect me when I go into qualifying when they're not there. We're running the green car again, more so because I forgot to change it, but I like it. It's pretty fun. We'll switch it for the next race, though. Anyway, let's get this qualifying done. All right, here we go through the tri-oval for our qualifying lap, now underway. Bring it through 1 and 2 just fine. A little bit down on the apron. Cut it a little bit. Actually, I was a little high there from what I normally would do. I'm going to drive this one a little deeper in and see if that'll work for me as well. Just got on the brake just the slightest amount. Try to drive it in deep. Get a better lap than we had before. Or maybe I screwed it all up. No, that was a good lap, actually. So 24th place. I guess it was determining it for 20th place. All right, good to know. I forgot to go over everybody where they qualified. That's on me. You'll see it on the track. Ryan Truex is our friend, though. That's a little pre-race. Ryan Ellis, also our friend. And Daniel Hemrick is your pole winner. All right, it's go time here at Kentucky Speedway. 100 laps. We got Bethel on our inside, Olivier in front of us, and Speedy Jones directly in front of us. We're running on the outside, not really anywhere for us to go, so we'll just have to do the best that we can. Hanging out, see maybe we can get a run through here. That was actually pretty good for us to get around Speedy Jones on the outside and Oliveira. Pick up those two spots and start working to catch up to David Schildhouse in that next pack. I didn't do that correctly at all. That's so funny. Every single lap that I raced, including qualifying, I didn't do that one time. We get into the actual race, and I completely messed it up. Oh, well. See if I can make the adjustment and start catching up to these folks in front of us. I ran 10 laps just to see because it seems like around 10 we start to lose the car in other races. We didn't do it in this one, so I felt good about that. I felt very good about that, and we are starting to gain up on Schildhouse and maybe drive away from, well, Matt Malone we're driving away from. Huge shout out to Matt Malone. He just announced today he's going to be a full-time streamer now. That's a big leap, and that's really exciting for him. I think he'll be wildly successful with it, and I wish him the best of luck in that endeavor. Go check out his Twitch channel or YouTube. He streams on both. And it's just Matt Malone, same as his name in the game. Anyway, though, enough free publicity. We are catching up to Schildhaus and No Rick. We got to, well, we don't technically have to pass them. We don't even have a goal for this one. We can just ride this race out and see how it ends up. But of course, it is a race, so we're going to do the best we can to get the best position possible. Taking a look at our tire wear, nominal. Taking a look at the heat in the tires, reasonable. If I do catch No Rick and Schildhaus, it'll be a slow process. We've driven away from Egan. We've driven away from Malone. I think we're gaining up on these other drivers here, so that's awesome. Car feels great. Not running a special setup, just lowered the car and did one tick on third gear, so that fourth gear runs a little higher. And as you can tell, it's seemingly working for us, so that's nice. We have 23 laps in the tank. It's a 2-stop race. Or is that a 3-stop? It might be a 3. Get to Schildhaus's outside. Try to pass him in the middle of the track here. It's going to be a drag race down the front stretch. I'd show you, but I'm racing. He's got the edge, though, as we go into one. I had to get on the brake. I didn't turn in early enough, and he's going to take it from us. That's not the end of this battle, though, as we're going to work. Whoa. That was me not paying attention. We are all over. I got it. We're fine. Woo. We really did lose that bad, though, when I touched the wall. It's all right. We'll get it all back. That was a foolish move on my part. Try to make some ground here, or I'll just touch the apron and slide out for the first time at all. That's going to spin us into the wall, and that'll bring out a caution. We're going to pit because of that last hit. Woo. All right, whatever. Couple cars pit, few in the back. No reason for them not to pit. And that was weird. Guess that was the first time I hit the apron even during practice, so we'll just get through the gears, be patient, and work our way up again. Car feels good. I just have to stop being an idiot, I guess. I don't know why I drove it down that far, but that's okay, because we will simply adjust and be better. Should get a nice run around Oliveira here down the front stretch. Just keeping it up on the outside of the, well, where you saw the tire marks there. It's really what I was keeping it around the outside of. The darker area of the track, but on the high line of it. Giving them plenty of room below us as we're going to catch into Taylor Carpenter's draft. Dip down underneath. And start to work on max costs. See if we can get around costs without any incidents, because the more times we're able to do that, the better chance we are at mending that relationship. Let's get on the brake a little bit and get back on the gas pretty quick. That's going to get us around Parker Smith. As we ride up on the back end of Eliza here. Stay right as close as possible without running into her. Try to draft through here and get on the inside as soon as she opens that door. Oh, we're not going to get there this time. Good driving. Good driving by the number 24. Hopefully we get that run off, and we do. Fender, door, fender. Clear.
You got room. You're clear.
Get up under Egan.
Careful. Still there. All right, you're clear.
And back up to Malone and Gary Norton. We can see Schildhaus up there again, so Again, our tires are now better than theirs because we pit under caution. We brought out the caution. We needed to pit. We were damaged from post-spin contact. I mean, the track is, I feel very good on the track. I must have just been being an idiot because there was no reason for me to touch that apron. There was no reason for the earlier hit to the wall. Like, this track isn't one of those tracks where it's, you're on the, I don't feel at least like I'm on the super edge every time I go around the turns. Norton doing a nice job. He's gaining up on Schildhouse. I'm working with him in the draft a bit here. We'll stick with him. Well, we got a little loose coming out of 4 there, but I'm also giving him just the slightest nudge to get up there, closer to Schildhouse. Oh, nothing like helping my fellow subscriber drivers move their positions up potentially. Why? Why? Huge contact on our rear end because I wasn't on the gas at all while we were trying to save it. I don't really know what the heck happened there. I mean, I don't know why I tagged the wall again. Apparently that's just in it for me. I'm just gonna tag the wall. That was weird. I'll get it together. I'll get it together, folks. We've got a long race left to go. I'm not really sure why I'm driving like a... Oh, I know the problem with this. I remember this track. Whoa, smoke in front of us, and it looks like it's Schildhouse. That saved us because I actually believed that until that caution came out, we were about to snap up into the wall. We're going to pit. We have 0 seconds of repair, so Egan running into the back of us did not actually affect us. Schildhouse still out there. I don't know what happened. It looked like he was the one that was all smoking, so I don't know if he lost a tire or something, but he's fine, and here we are. Back at it. 79 laps left to go in this one. So here's the problem, and I forgot about this with Kentucky. Early on, it's fine to ride down on that line, but don't follow that yellow line. There's a seam, and that yellow line goes below onto the apron. You don't want to get onto that line, so I'm actually better off running a little bit higher overall and not trying. It's so hard for me not to try to follow that yellow line, but that's actually going to be a problem. I have to pay more attention to the seams than I do the lines. Gonna get a nice run around Schildhouse maybe here. Nope, the battle ensues. Or should I say the battle continues? It had already ensued. Get to his fender this time. We are in the draft. That's going to be helpful. We'll run the middle of the track here and get a humongous run through 3 and 4. That's going to get us up into 19th place. Now, keep in mind, everybody is on equal equipment right now, so it's not like we have that benefit anymore that we had that drove us back up to 22nd place, so that's pretty awesome. Had to really get on the brakes there to avoid Daniel Hemrick. Also have to be careful because I barely touched that seam, and that's what got me into the wall. Okay, so that's what's getting me up into the wall. It's either going to spin me or shoot me up the track. Now I know I almost just want to run the middle of the track for safety going forward. Looking to get around Perez, who's riding up in the top 20. Good job for the 64 crew. They've been trying to battle it back this season. They've had kind of a rocky go at it so far, so hopefully that'll get better for them in the near future. Yeah, I touched the apron again. That's going to bring me right up to the wall. Dang it. All right. At least I know what I'm doing wrong. I can correct it. I know I can correct that. I just have to do it. I mean, maybe I run the middle of the track or the higher part of the track just to save myself from myself. We've got smoke again. We've got a spinner. A lot of contact. We're probably going to run into someone, aren't we? Okay, no. Matt Kenseth. You know what? I'm going to pit every dang time. I know we dropped 15 spots, but again, it puts us off schedule, and we'll go back to having fresh tires. All these cars are mixed up now. Some of the leaders pit. Some of the subscriber drivers, which are lower end equipment right now, they haven't pit, so they're up higher. That's going to make a change for how when everyone gets up to speed, how it goes.
Still there?
Kenseth not out of the race. He's right behind us, so I guess good for him to not lose the car completely. And I'll say that for this game, you know how we don't DNF when we hit a wall sometimes, and it's like, oh, maybe we should have DNF'd. They don't either. You know, it takes a lot to DNF them as well, so it is balanced. As we're up with Ryan Ellis here. As you can tell, he's got Casey Kane right in front of him, Taylor Carpenter, some of the slower cars, so he's going to have a problem getting around them early on. Sam Mayer, we're going to push him up the track, and that's actually going to help him get around Speedy Jones. And I want to do the same thing, and I'm going to stay on the outside. Because we're going to go into this turn and stay high. Get on the gas early and roll through. Feather it to try to keep the car on the track. Sam Mayer up there. We got a huge run out of 3 again. Or out of 4, I mean. Pocono was a couple races ago. Sitting here saying 3. Keeping it high on the track. Higher on the track. Seeing if I can make it work up here. As I dip right to the inside to get on around Carpenter. And then up the track a little to get around Oliveira. Ooh, looks like Malone's got some damage on the right side, front right of that car. Can't show you, but I did see it. Maybe you saw it as we drove past. Kind of diamond that turn, but do whatever we had to do there to not hit the wall. And then we got into the wall a little bit. Well, there you see Malone's front right. He's got a lot of damage sitting on that hood. We have a big advantage through 3 and 4, it would appear. As we're going to clear Malone and Parker Smith back up into 23rd. Maybe not the best idea for us to pit when we did, but I feel like the advantage will come a little bit later for those who didn't pit, as their wear and tear will be higher than ours. We've got Max Cost here. Another opportunity for clean racing. Get around Bethel on the outside. If I can hold in the gas. Yes, we can. Woo, that was close. But it worked out. Just taking a look. We got 23 in the tank, so we definitely have 2 more stops now. Keep off that seam, you dummy. Now that I can drive back down a little lower on the track, I have to be mindful of that for sure. Ooh, another caution comes out. Interesting. Was it Bethel? Got the... It might have been. We're going to stay out this time. Are we going to stay out this time? No, we're actually going to pit. I know. Move my way up all the way to drop back. It makes exciting racing. That's not why we're doing it, though. Bethel was the one that brought out the caution. She's back here with us now.
Green flag. Got a car low now.
As we get... Oh, crap. I forgot to... 28? Interesting. So maybe I should have stayed out. I'll keep that in mind. My goal was to have the 1 more stop, but it looks like we still have to stop technically 2 times. Of course, if that would have limited us to only 1 stop, you would have seen everybody else pit as well, so I guess I should have thought about that. It's all right. We'll see how it turns out in the end. Getting huge run on the outside again. We seem to have 3 and 4 really down to a science for us. Little contact with Oliveira. He must have someone on the inside of him. Yep, he had Carpenter on the inside of him, so he didn't have any room. It's all right. We'll do what we can to get that spot through 3 and 4 again. Had to come off the gas a little bit, but it worked out. Big runoff of 4. Brings us up side by side with Matt Malone. We're going to do the same with Parker Smith as we go into 1 and 2.
Say hi, say hi.
Come out, little slight contact with the wall, no big deal. Hopefully we'll make up for it as we go into 3 and 4 again.
Got one down low now. Clear low, bud.
Nice run off there. Start to gain on Koss and Egan. And again, Schildhouse up there. That's kind of been really where we get to before we stall out. Especially since cars are kind of back in order of where they should be for the most part. Aha, kept it off the seam that time. Car drives a lot better when it's not getting shot up the track by hitting the apron. Wow, what a day. We're staying out. No reason to pit this time, but Egan... Oh no, the spin out is in front of us. Who is that? Oh, it was Hemrick. All right, good to know. We're not pitting. All right, that'll move us up 6 spots. Multiple takers, but we had just pit. We were one of few that had just pit, so no reason for us no reason for us to pit this time. Oh, my paddle didn't work. What is going on with my paddle? Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I was slamming on the paddle for it to shift and it wasn't. Then we got a little bit hooked by Malone. Well, I hooked myself, I should say. I drove up the track too far because I was concerned about the gears and talking about it, and I caught his front end and shot myself into the wall. No big deal. We're driving just fine. Coming up on the halfway point of this one. Been a lot of cautions in this. Only one brought out by us. We're side by side with Koss, and he did run into us, so there is definitely that aggression there. Not a big fan of that, as you're well aware, but we'll just try to do the best that we can to race clean around him until that whole anger issue subsides. Trying to stick up in the... Stay with this draft right here in hopes that going into 3 and 4 we'll get a nice run up on them and be able to hang with them. And we are. And we are. It's a big deal for us. Also because part of what it does is it takes us or gets us to drive away from the cars behind us. They got out the gas a little earlier than me that time. That's all right. Brendan Poole was one of the cars that pit. He is caught up and will likely pass us with ease. I'm going to stay high line here. Josh Berry, another one. I didn't think because we were up in 14th that we were going to stay there at all. Ooh, got a little weird loose there. I just thought maybe we get fortunate, though. We're able to hang with these cars for a while and get some gap between us and the cars that we can actually beat. That is good for us. $20 to go in the tank. We're going to go ahead and speed things up now. Not much is going to happen. We're not going to pass these cars at all. We'll get back on the mic with you when we are pitting for our first time in the race.
Close out. Back or
Wow. Well, Bryce Egan just saved us from a DNF because we were headed straight for that wall. I don't know what's up. I gotta slow it down. I think I'm doing what I did at Indy and I'm overdriving it. Something's up, man. Every race we've had, this car just like it drops off. Yeah, we had a lot of damage to take care of. That's why we lost all those spots.
green, driver. Almost ready now. Hammer down.
Oh, good. My shift is working now. 40 left in this one. One pit stop left, unless we mess up our car.
Careful, still there.
Is it the difference coming from my big runs that I'm getting through 3 and 4? Is that where I'm overdriving? Car feels wonderful when I drive it, though. That's what's weird to me. Like I get on it and the car just sticks. It feels great. Even when I started to lose the back end on it later in the race, it wasn't, or later in the fuel run, it wasn't through 3 and 4. It was 1 and 2. I don't know. I know early on what I can do, so I'll do it. But I don't know later in the stage what I'm going to be able to do. Not stage, in the fuel run.
Careful, still there.
Trying to do the best I can to just focus up for a minute here. I might not talk as much, but you'll see. You obviously can see why.
Stay high.
We're flying around trying to catch enough positions to get us back up into a respectable spot where we can kind of ease into the rest of what we're doing, which is ease into the rest of this fuel run without, hopefully without smoking. I don't know. Tires weren't even hot, like in comparison to what I normally have when things are going poorly. Just was weird. We just start shooting up the track. Feels so good early on, and then we just lose it. I do not understand. Maybe I need to move up to the high line later on. We also were starting to get passed by other cars pretty big. Hey, good for Bryce Egan. We got into that wreck. He saved me from dying, and he's way up here, so I'm glad we didn't have a negative impact on him. Gary Norton up here as well. Great work for those 2 subscriber drivers being up in the top 20. We're just a handful of races away from the subscriber drivers upgrading them again. So there will be, I think, 4. I think there'll be 4 upgrades in season 1 that they have a chance to do. So by the end of, or start of season 2, you'll start to see them probably get top 10s, even maybe some wins. We'll see what happens. We do have one driver that got a win this season at Talladega, and that'll be interesting to see when the playoffs hit how that works out for that driver.
Careful, still there.
We're cruising around up in the top 20 for now, which is good. We can kind of get ourselves a buffer and not really make any mistakes. We should be good to go for a while. I mean, I feel like I should be waiting until I get to the signs before I start to get on the gas, even though I could get on it earlier just to kind of preserve. Looks like it was Sammy Smith is one of the 2 cars that are out. So that's interesting. I don't foresee us moving up any farther. In fact, still kind of see us not as a top 20 car. The only way that we really will do it is if maybe 1 or 2 more cars break by the end of the race. It's just right now, if those 2 cars that are on pit road weren't, I have a feeling we'd be in 22nd place like we were earlier. I don't know who the other car is, but there are 2 on pit road. Oh, No Rick. And yeah, we would have been behind him as well. So No Rick and Sammy Smith, 2 cars that absolutely would have been in front of us in the race, are out, which is what has us riding up in 20th place. Gary Norton doing a hell of a job keeping us at bay every time we try to get around him. And to be honest with you, that's how I get myself in trouble. So we're just going to ride with him and try to get through this fuel run without messing up the car. It's just crazy when you've got a car like this that feels so good in the beginning and is basically undrivable with still what we had 12 laps left when I had last checked. So I think we went around 1 or 2 more times. So maybe 10 laps left in our fuel run. We got 2/3 of the fuel run done, and we're losing it really bad. So I don't know. We'll have to pay attention to that. And honestly, I just need to be accepting of, wow, we just had a spin out right in front of us. That's going to be Justin Haley with the spin out. You know what? We're just going to pit because we might actually be able to stay out the rest of the race with, because we'll have 28 in the tank, and depending on how many laps are remaining, we might be good to go. Yeah, we dropped back 10 spots, but big deal. This might be the last time we have to pit. If it runs green. Not likely, though. It's been a caution-filled race. We brought out 2 of them, but there's been 3 or 4 other cautions. But yeah, 28 laps in the race, 28 laps in the tank, I believe. Yep, 28 laps in the tank. So here we are in a pretty good spot to, if push comes to shove, we can stay out. Now, if there's a caution and people pit, though, that's not going to go well for us because we'll just pit with everyone. We'd have to. We can't run it out like that. But if there isn't a caution and people end up pitting, we stay out. We could probably limp the car around for long enough to finish this race out. So it's one of the few times that this may work out for us, and that could be awesome at the end. Totally getting a position way above where we should finish in this race based on the car and, well, the driver. But we'll see how it turns out. Could go well. Another opportunity around max cost coming right up. Gonna get off the gas a little early, get on the gas, and hopefully through 3 and 4 do what we do, especially with fresh tires. Clear him cleanly, and I can only think that that's the type of thing that improves a relationship is when you're around that driver and you don't wreck him. Back up in the top 20, and we pit. Didn't take much time at all, but that's also because a lot of other cars didn't pit, so that works out for us for now. Some others did, and you'll start to see, like, Greg Galding pit. He'll catch us and pass us at some point, undoubtedly.
Still there?
There we go. Get around Malone, start working back up on who we were working with earlier, which is Gary Norton. Just hanging out here. I think that's Bryce Egan way up there, actually, which is awesome for him. Always root for the subscriber drivers to do well. Obviously, it's just neat. Neat when they do it. Neat when we're able to see them start to take out the AI drivers. Just like in the truck series, they'll be vying for championships in 2 years. And that's awesome. We ended up battling it out with Schildhouse in the truck series for our only championship there. And we won at least 2 championships in Xfinity, so we're going to be here for a while. So buckle up, because you're going to be seeing these cars. Different sponsors probably every year, but you're going to be seeing these cars for a while. Some of the driver roster may change. I've got some new people that want to come in. I've got some people that haven't been responding to DMs to upgrade their drivers, so they're not going to be here anymore, regardless of what they have to say. Give them a couple chances, and unfortunately, that's just how it's going to pan out. Looks like Haley is out of the race. I just checked and saw that he is on pit road behind Sammy Smith, so we potentially are a 19th place car with that if we lose all talent before the end of the race again and just have to limp the car around. I'm trying to wait longer before I get back on it, though. See if I can do that. 21 in the tank. Could be probably 21 at the line, yeah? Yeah. With us coming off the gas, we're actually saving, and I think we're going to be about a lap to the good by the end of this, so maybe even 2 laps to the good if I'm being completely honest. We're doing about, I'd say, a third of the track with our foot off the gas. So that's a big deal. We got a car running high. Is that? Yeah, that's Tommy Joe Martins. He's running high line. And you'll start to see that a little bit more because each time the subscriber drivers upgrade, I've been upgrading. Wow. Well, that just changes everything. Now everyone can just pit. That sucks. We'll pit too because we want to be on the freshest stuff we can be on.
Coming to the green, driver. Almost ready. Green flag. Looking inside now.
Every time we upgrade the subscriber drivers, we also upgrade the AI drivers high line only. I'm upgrading their high line. At the end of the season, I will upgrade them a little bit. But really, those upgrades aren't going to come until we are championship caliber, because then basically everybody will be pretty close to the same when it comes to talent. And then it's just whoever wins is whoever wins type situation, which I think is fun. Subscriber drivers. I will have the subscriber drivers. I'll keep the AI drivers just a little bit slower. I mean, I think that the subscriber drivers should be a little better because they're building their driver up. And so that's what we'll do. In the truck series, because I just left a lot of the AI drivers the way they were, you had a huge mix of quality of driver. And I didn't do that with the Xfinity series because I wanted it, because everybody was changed except for Allgaier. Everyone was in a new car, new team at least, if not being a completely new driver. So I just made them all equal. And it's made for it's actually been kind of interesting because you've seen some drivers that have been consistently good and consistently up front. And you're like, wow, that's weird because they're all technically equal. You would think that you would have a lot more of a variety of winners, but that's how the game is. That's how it goes. That's what makes it fun. Daniel Hemrick's still out here after his earlier wreck. We almost DNF'd probably twice, definitely once, and Bryce Egan saved us with the nose of his car. Speaking of, I can see him up there, so another big congratulations for him, not only being up there, but he's maintained being in the high teens this whole time. And that's awesome. He's trying to push for a top 10 finish, which would be huge for points for him. Of course, we're doing the best we can to get around everybody.
Say hi.
I knew he was going to dip in. Well, I was hopeful, I should say, that he was going to do what he did, and he did it. So we were able to not hit Hemrick. Otherwise, we probably would have plowed through him right there. 12th place. Wow. I was going to say 12 laps to go. I actually don't know how many laps we have. We might have 12 laps to go if I'm thinking about it, right? Because we went in with 20. Probably would do 2 or 3 on under yellow, and we've been out for 3 or so laps. So, what, 14? 12. There it is. 12 to go in the race. We're in 12th place. Can we keep this car running like it is for the next 12 laps and not mess up? That would be key to us having an incredible finish on a track that maybe we shouldn't have. But it works out that way at the end of the race because we had a fast car in short runs. Just a really terrible car on longer runs. So we're going to try to stick with Daniel Hemrick as long as possible. Try to put a gap between us and Ellis. Ellis and Alfredo got around Egan. Still, Egan is having a fantastic race and is definitely in a position to have the top subscriber finish. Looks like Matt Kenseth making his way back up after his early race wreck. And he's got himself back up into 13th place now, so congratulations to him. We're going to push it a little bit through this turn, see if we can get a little separation, but I think we're about to start dropping back as well regardless because those cars aren't being held up by subscriber drivers anymore.
Keep digging. 10 to go.
10 left in this one. Doing the best that we can. Keep it off that apron. Yep, we're sideways. You don't see it. We were. Car was, let's just put it this way. Steering wheel was right. Car was going left. You're drifting. That's how that works. So it didn't look like it because it was slight, but it was what I was doing. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold off Brandon Jones, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Ellis, and Anthony Alfredo. But I'm certainly not just going to give it up to them at this point. If they're not going to blast through in the turns, we're going to hold as long as we can. And it's not like I'm holding them up from... Oh, they actually might be fast enough to get around Hemrick, for all I know, come to think of it. I got these tires running a little warm right now, but hopefully they don't give out before the end of this race. 8 to go. Just got to keep it off the apron. Just getting a little squirrely again in 2. When I'm straightening out the steering wheel and we're still turning left, you know, it's not too bad, but it's definitely worse than I want it to be. Ellis diving inside. We're going to try to push off and, yeah, get that little gap going again, and we were able to. We're actually getting to a spot where we might be able to actually pass Hemrick. And if we do, that could be huge, because if they can't get around Hemrick and we're able to drive away from Hemrick a little bit on our own, that would be a big deal. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, Ellis got to me, and I'm not going to drive down on him. That sucks. So instead of maybe taking the spot from Hemrick, we're looking at losing between 2 and 4 spots. Well, that's not great. See if we can get any of it back. Holding it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. I couldn't hold it. We're going to lose all that momentum. Side by side with Alfredo here as we're coming up on 6 laps to go. Getting close to 5 laps to go, and we're going to drop those spots. We got a big lead on Hunter Nemechek, so at this point we're not going to gain on these guys. Let's just go ahead and get this car home safe with 5 to go. That becomes my big focus now. Nemechek gained 0.6 because of my needing to get on the brake to avoid hitting the wall. But our drive out of 4 is strong. He's not gaining on us now. Yeah, we lost everything we lost to the 5 cars in front of us, which sucks. But, I mean, remember, we were a 22nd place car, and with the 3 that are out, we were a 19th place car. So anything above that is really, dang. Ooh. Nope. No, we can't pit because when we come back on the track, it's going to be like 2 to go. Even though it's not overtime, I think we're actually going to have almost a natural overtime right here.
All right, be smart out there. Going green. Are you ready now? Hammer down, green down. Hold your line, got 1 inside. 2 to go,
Yeah,
driver.
2 to go. I could have, if we had 5 or 8, 7 to go, I could have gone in and gotten fresh tires and probably gotten a better finish, but no. Dang it. Let's see if I can do something here. All right. We're in 17th, still 2 places above where we were kind of expected to finish. But I'd love to get around Nemechek. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't. Son of a... That's going to bring out the end of the race. Come on! I just got to figure these cars. We are just not able to run. I haven't been... It feels like 4 or 5 races I haven't been able to run a full fuel run without having the car just go to absolute poop. Finished 19th, where we expected to finish. Barry Earnhardt, Custer Hill, and Truex are your top 5. Gary Norton takes the top of the subscriber drivers, 17th. Malone, 18th. We came in 19th. Egan, 20th. Schildhouse, 21st. Bethel, 23rd. Koss, 24th. Perez, 25th. Carpenter, 26th. Smith, 27th. Graham, 28th. Oliveira, 29th. Jones, 30th. Kane, 31st. Lane, 32nd. Chavez, 33rd. And Haley Smith and No Rig DNF. I don't know if you saw that. I didn't even see that until just now, but looked like Sammy Smith's DNF involved him going on his roof. That's crazy. Fastest lap goes to Josh Berry. Most laps led also goes to Josh Berry. On the move, Jeffrey Earnhardt started 18th, finished second. Great job for that group. And Justin Haley, tough break, started 5th, DNF. So it looks like Max Cost has become a rival. I legit actually don't have any understanding as to why. Look at the rest of these. We'll start from the top. Happy, kind, friend, friend, rival, friend, 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 kind, friend, 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 happy, friend, 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 happy, friend, 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 friend. I don't get it. I've never wrecked him. I don't know. So it's weird that that's happening. If anybody should be a rival of mine, I would think it would be Daniel Hemrick for how many times incidentally I've just smashed into him. But I don't know. And what's worse is that even after that, I don't feel like I've done anything to provoke that with our guy. So anyway, our next race will be at New Hampshire Speedway. Another 100 laps. That's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I'd like to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.